Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today, I'm going to be reacting to Charlie Casserly's mock draft 1.0, and from the title right here, you can already tell this is going to be absolutely terrible. But let's get right into it. Coming at the number 1 overall pick, we have Trevor Lawrence to the Jaguars. That is not a big surprise at all. You're going to see that in almost every mock draft. He's the best prospect you're going to get at quarterback. He can't be perfect. No prospects are perfect, but he's the closest you're going to get to it. 2 Jets, Zach Wilson, another one that I get. You also are going to see this a lot in mock drafts. It makes sense. He's a very strong, good quarterback. He's a field general. He can manage the game, and that's why a lot of teams like him. Dolphins have Ja'Marr Chase here at 3. This one is not a big surprise either. He's a very great weapon. He's a physical wide receiver. He reminds me a lot of a prime Julio Jones, and great pick. 4, the Carolina Panthers trading up the Falcons and getting Trey Lance. I think that the Panthers can get Trey Lance at 8. And I don't think the Falcons would be willing to give up the number 4 spot. I think they would need a quarterback a lot. I don't think they would be doing that. But I guess it would make sense. The Panthers are looking at Trey Lance very thoroughly. But I don't even think that they'll need to trade up to get him. And at number 5, the Bengals are going to take Penei Sewell. This is something you can't pass up here at 5. He's a great athlete, and if he's available at 5, I think any team should take him at that point. With good coaching, he can become one of the best offensive linemen in the league. Eagles, Devontae Smith. This will make sense, but not too much. I can go into depth about that. I mean, they have cut DeSean Jackson and Alshon Jeffrey. They are looking at wide receiver, but that's a very generic pick. You see a lot. Lions, Micah Parsons. This is the first very controversial one. I mean, first of all, the Vikings are not really in the market for a linebacker, especially when you have Jalen Waddle or Kyle Pitts that you could take right now. They do need to improve their defense after picking a dud in Jeff Okudah last year. But I don't think linebacker is the right move, especially Micah Parsons at 7. He's a great player, but there might be some off-the-field issues too. Falcons, Najee Harris. I mean, they do need a running back in some sort, but Najee Harris at number 8, there's only been a few running backs in the top 10 in recent years, and that's Christian McCaffrey, I think number 9, Saquon, number 2, Christian McCaffrey, I think. Those are the only ones that come to mind. I'm sure there's more, but Najee Harris at 8, I don't think he's that talent at all. And Falcons are getting anyone at 8, I would doubt it'd be a running back. So that one is very surprising. But the Broncos, Caleb Farley, another one that makes sense. They need some help on the defensive side of the ball, especially cornerback. I think he's a great fit for them. Cowboys, Patrick Surtain. 2 cornerbacks go back-to-back. Again, same thing. They need a lot of help on the defense, especially the cornerback. And Patrick Surtain definitely fits the scheme. He's one of the best defensive players in the draft. Giants take Jalen Waddle. I guess this would make sense. I don't think he'll fall to 11. He's very fast. I would consider him near Devontae Smith. But I don't think he'll fall to 11 in the first place. I think if he's there, the Giants should definitely pick him, but I don't think he's going to fall. 12, the Niners, Kwity Paye. They're always trying to beef up that defensive line, even though it's already very good, but I don't think that edge is their biggest concern here. I think at this point you can go Rashawn Slater, Christian Darrisaw. You can go Kyle Pitts, which might not make tons of sense when you have the best or the second best tight end in the league. But Kyle Pitts is also more than a tight end. He's a versatile weapon. He's more of a bigger wide receiver. He's an outside threat. So, I mean, I'm okay with it, but it's not something I would completely agree with. 13 have the Chargers selecting Rashawn Slater. If he's available at 13, I think they'll definitely take him, which he probably will be if the Niners don't get him. So I like this pick. There's not much you can say about it. He did a very good job against Chase Young this one game last year. He just dominated him. I don't even think Chase Young got to the passer. It was great. Vikings, Jalen Phillips. This also makes sense. They're looking to beef up the defensive line and the defense in general. They could go a lot here. I think Jalen Phillips would be the right move, though. 15, you have the Patriots taking Kyle Pitts. They do need a tight end, but I don't think Kyle Pitts will fall to this point. I mean, he is such a good player, and if he falls to 15, I will be truly surprised. There's no way that he will fall to 15. If he does, then Patriots will take him, but we also have to look at the fact here how Justin Fields is still not off the board. There are plenty of teams who would easily take Justin Fields. The Lions might be in the market for Justin Fields at 7. Eagles maybe at 6. Definitely the Patriots at 15. You could make an argument for the Niners at 12. Panthers at 4 or 8, depending on which way you look at it. Falcons at 8. There are so many teams that would be in the market for Fields already, and he's still not on the board. Like, Patriots taking Kyle Pitts over someone who could be their franchise quarterback, I think is very dumb. Broncos can make an argument. Plenty of teams who could possibly be in the market for a quarterback. Justin Fields is one of the top in the class. Cardinals, Christian Darrisaw. I was thinking more something on the defensive side of the ball. Like, they could go with J.C. Horn. They could go with, and it's a little too early for Trevor Moehrig, but they could go with Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah, or a little early for the linebackers, besides Micah Parsons. But it's not a bad pick. I think Christian Darrisaw is a great offensive lineman, and I think he's debatable whether he's better than Rashawn Slater. Raiders take Alijah Vera-Tucker, guard. I don't think that will happen. I think it could, but they're looking in the market for defense. I don't think in many worlds they will take Alijah Vera-Tucker. He is good, but that's not even close to the biggest need. I'd say 3rd or maybe 4th. So I think they would rather go with Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah. They could go with J.C. Horn, as I just said. They could go with plenty of linebackers here that could be taken. I don't think offensive line's the move here. Dolphins at 18, Gregory Rousseau. I think 18's a little early for him. I think there are plenty of edge rushers who could probably go before that. I don't really like Gregory Rousseau here. I think you go Azeez Ojulari. You could go Penn State. I think Owusu-Koramoah, something like that. They could also go for Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah easily. They could go for an offensive lineman even. Since they didn't take Penei Sewell, they could go for someone like Liam Eichenberg. I don't really think that Gregory Rousseau is the pick here for the Dolphins. The football team. First of all, another team who could be in the market for a quarterback, and they don't take Justin Fields, and they take Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah instead over Justin Fields, who's debatably top 3 in the class, which makes no sense to me. I mean, their defense is already great. Why do they need Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah? They have a good defense. They don't have great linebackers, but you're looking for a quarterback. If Justin Fields falls to the football team at 19, they will take him in a heartbeat. First of all, 20. Bears taking Kadarius Toney. This is reasonable, and they're in the market for a wide receiver. I would probably have them taking an offensive lineman, but because for some reason, the Raiders and the Cardinals took offensive linemen, guess that's not really an option. Colts, Tevin Jenkins. This one makes sense, but again, you kind of still have Justin Fields on the board. Not really anymore with Carson Wentz, but definitely the Bears too. I mean, there's so many teams that could so use Justin Fields, and they're passing up for not even top priority positions. I know the Bears do need wide receiver. That's a big need, but I think that they could easily go for Justin Fields. Titans take Jalen Mayfield. I would rather have them going edge here, like with Azeez Ojulari or Owea. But, I mean, I could see them doing this. It's not a big surprise. You have the Jets taking Joe Tryon, the edge from Washington. I don't think he's a first-round pick by any standards. I think here you're either going with Travis Etienne or an offensive lineman to protect Zach Wilson. But I don't think he's a first-round pick by any standards. I think he's a mid-second-round pick, especially with all the other edge and linebackers on the board right now. I don't get why you're taking him, especially over a running back too, or an offensive lineman. Finally, Justin Fields is going to the Steelers, which I think is one of the teams that need him the least over all the other teams we just passed. But I don't even see the Steelers taking a quarterback. Even if Fields was on the board here, they're probably the least team out of all the other teams that I said that would need a quarterback. So I think this makes no sense at all. And then 25, the Jaguars taking Christian Barmore. I love Christian Barmore. I think he's a great player. I think he's very underrated. And if the Jaguars can grab him at 25, I think that'd be a steal. Browns, J.C. Horn. I love J.C. Horn too. He's a playmaker on the defensive side of the ball, and I think he could help out in the Browns' defense, which is developing into a great defense. Ravens, Trayvon Moehrig. I don't see them taking a safety here. They could take Zaven Collins, Nick Bolton, Azeez Ojulari. I don't really see them taking Trevor Moehrig here, especially when you have Marlon Humphrey and all your other playmakers on the defensive side of the ball. I can see them going defense, but just not safety. Saints, Jason Owea, Penn State, edge. Talked about him earlier. Again, I don't see the Saints going an edge, though. They have Cameron Jordan and Trey Hendrickson on both sides of the ends, and I don't think an edge is in question here. I think it's either offensive lineman maybe or a linebacker. I don't think edge is a question. Zaven Collins goes to the Packers. It's an okay pick. I don't disagree with it, but I think there's a lot more options they could go with here. For example, Eric Stokes is in need behind Jair Alexander, but it's not a terrible pick. It's just not something that makes much sense. Joseph Ossai, I love this pick. I'm a big Joseph Ossai fan. I think he's a great player. It would be a steal for the Bills at 30. Chiefs go Greg Newsome. I get the cornerback. I guess they could go wide receiver here is what I would do with Rashad Bateman. If they're going cornerback, I would go Eric Stokes. I wouldn't go Greg Newsome. I don't think he's first-round talent. I think he's second-round talent. Maybe even late second-round talent. But they could be in the market for a cornerback, just not him. And with the last pick, Bucks go Patrick Jones, the Pittsburgh edge. Azeez Ojulari is not a first-round pick, but Patrick Jones is, along with Joe Tryon and Greg Newsome. I don't think that makes sense at all. If they're going for edge, which I could see them doing, I don't think they're going with him. I think, again, he's second round talent. But that's going to wrap up this video. This is Charlie Casserly mock draft, aka the worst mock draft to ever exist. And I'll see you in the next one.